Hello, beautiful people. You can check your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising, and even your Mercury on this one. So when it comes to communicating with the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, it is important to know three things. Number one, they read into what you say and what you do. No elements trust their intuition more than the water signs, and this is because one of their gifts is having a strong connection to that intuitive inner voice that we all have. So they will pick up on how you say something, they will pick up on your body language, they will pick up on your expressions, and they will draw conclusions on what this might mean about you or the topic that the two of you are discussing. So there may be times when you find them reacting to something that they are intuitively feeling as opposed to something that you actually said or did. So in these moments, be willing to have a conversation about what they are feeling, because the majority of the time, all they are looking for is clarity or reassurance. So if they approach you with a statement that starts with, "It seems like you," or "It feels like you," don't judge them or say that they're imagining things. Talk it out with them. Give them the clarity that they're looking for, which will help build the trust between the two of you, and it will strengthen your connection. Now, obviously, there can be a thin line between having concern or feeling about something and someone that is always paranoid. And I'm not saying pacify someone's paranoia, but I am saying if they are having a feeling about something and they want to talk it out, it doesn't mean that they don't trust you. It just means that they do trust their intuition and they're just looking for some clarity. Number two, their thoughts about what you say are very closely related to how they feel about you. If a water sign likes you and has respect for you and has a good emotional connection with you, they are much more likely to be open to and receptive to what you have to say. Now, if they don't like you, or if they have a bad feeling about you as a person, pretty much anything that comes out of your mouth will be questioned or just rejected altogether. Now, they are logical in the way that they will not deny truth or provable facts, but the opinion of someone they don't like will be shot down much faster than the opinion of someone that they do feel good about. So if you are communicating with them and you want to change their mind about something, you may have to first change the way that they feel about you. Number three, just because they haven't said something doesn't mean they don't know. Water signs are extremely perceptive. They notice everything, especially Scorpio. Cancer and Pisces as well, but especially Scorpio. And they take in information and store it away and then use it when they feel it is necessary. So if you've done something and you don't want them to know about it, or there's a topic that you're avoiding because you don't want to address it, and you think that because they are not bringing it up, that they must not know about it, or they must not have noticed, or they're unaware in some way, then think again, because the odds are they do know and they're just seeing what you're gonna do about it and if you're gonna bring it up. So you're much better off just being transparent and putting it all out on the table, because even if a water sign gets upset about something initially, by you telling them about it, they will trust you, and if they trust you, they can pretty much get over most things. But it is very difficult, if not impossible, for them to get over a feeling of mistrust. So overall, when you are communicating with the water signs, the worst thing you can do is try to force them to talk about something before they're ready to talk about it. Now, I work with a lot of couples, and the top priority in relationships is open and honest communication. However, when you're dealing with a water sign, they are smart enough to know themselves, and they know that when they are emotional, they prefer not to immediately talk because they don't want to say something that they will regret. Not to mention, much of the time, they may know that they're upset, but they might not be exactly sure why, or if the feeling is gonna last. They might just get over it. So they need a moment to process, then figure out exactly how they feel, and then they will be willing to talk about it. So the best thing you can do is, if you are interacting with a water sign and they are upset about something and they shut down, which I know can be very frustrating, instead of trying to force them into a conversation, just say, "I know you're upset, but I would love to work through this with you. So take your time, but whenever you're ready to discuss this, please let me know." Now, for the water signs out there, if someone says this to you, this doesn't mean that you can take 500 years and 20 lifetimes and come back and say, "I'm ready now." Have compassion for the person that you're interacting with and let them know, "Thank you for giving me a moment," and then address the issue ASAP. I usually advise my couples to do their best to discuss the situation by the end of the day and do not take the issue into the next day. And for you water signs out there, when you take a moment to yourself, don't keep thinking to yourself all of the reasons why you are angry and why you're justified in feeling the way that you feel. Instead, ask yourself, what do you need in order to feel better? That way, when you go to discuss the issue, you are showing up with a proposed solution solution, and the two of you can discuss the solution as opposed to debating who is right and who is wrong or playing the blame game. But just know if a water sign is upset, it is actually best to give them a moment if they need it and do not force them into a conversation that they're not ready for. Absolutely communicate, but do so when both parties are ready, and make sure that it's on a reasonable timeline. So if you are dating a water sign, it is important to know that their style of communication is different than yours. So if you have any questions or doubts, communicate for clarification, because remember, more than attraction, more than sexual compatibility, and more than just having things in common, the key to a successful and long-lasting relationship is communication. And in order to effectively communicate, we have to understand and embrace each other's language. I hope you found the information useful. If you did, please don't forget the baby tap. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.